Peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid, man, before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Friday thus far, man. Ending this week on a powerful, positive, efficient, productive note. All of those good things, man. Y'all see the subject matter for the day, man. Hopefully, y'all got a chance to view the verses last night between Bone Thugs and Harmony, 3-6 Mafia. I was tapped in, man. Y'all know Bone Thugs and Harmony is one of my favorite groups of all time, some of my favorite artists of all time. So this is something that I feel compelled to talk about, because if you saw the verses, then you know what happened, man. Y'all know who's trending and y'all know why he is trending. So I'm gonna go ahead and build on some things in regards to just my little insight on what transpired. Prodigal son, peace. What's happening? What's the word? Like I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, man. Bizzy Bone and Crazy Bone have been some of my favorite artists, like MCs, for like the longest, since I've been a Bone Thugs and Harmony fan. You know what I'm saying? So hey, sometimes it's partially biased, but I'm always gonna ride with the people I've been loyal to. You know what I'm saying? So I've been a Bone Thugs and Harmony fan since I can remember, when I was trying to recite, you know what I'm saying, Thuggish, Ruggish, Bone, and all of these songs, man, with the afro and things along those lines, man. You know, Airview, peace, peace. Beast by Bless Zone Out, peace. What's happening? Jay, peace, my brother. What's the word? So it's just a lot of energy surrounding Bizzy and things along those lines. Bizzy Bone, things along those lines. First and foremost, man, like I said, shout out to Bone Thugs and Harmony and 3-6 Mafia. I'm more of a Bone Thugs and Harmony fan, so y'all obviously know how I would feel towards the verses. I rock with Bone Thugs. I feel like they started off slow. I was like, man, why are they playing these songs? I mean, the songs they were playing, some songs I rock with, but I don't feel like those are the songs that you play in the verses against 3-6. But then I felt like midway in the verses, Bone Thugs started putting that heat on them, and I feel like they shifted the momentum. I feel like Bone Thugs started off slow, then they shifted the momentum when they started playing their hits on them, and it was a done deal from there, man. That's how I view it. I feel like 3-6 Mafia, I mean, they a vibe for when you need to be angry or you feel like fighting or something. But I feel like they songs, for the most part, have the exact same type of content. Like, not versatile at all. Like, they songs literally saying the same exact things, man, in my opinion. Like I said, I do rock with them, though. I can listen to them from time to time when I need to be in that type of vibe, when I'm working out or something along those lines. But Bone Thugs, man, they got a multitude of different vibes, man. So I always rock with Bone Thugs over 3-6, simply because that's just more of my vibe. So it's all a vibe thing. But shout out to both of them, though, man. They did their things despite what transpired and whatnot. They finished the show. Everything was cool. So I was rocking with it. TZ, peace. Anthony, Jamar, peace. What's the word? Prodigal, you say Bizzy was always my favorite. For sure, man. Bizzy got some solo joints that's cold. It's either him or Crazy. You know what I'm saying? I like Flesh and Bone too. You know what I'm saying? I like Lazy and Wish. I like all of them, but just on a solo basis, like Crazy, Bizzy, and Flesh are my dudes. Trey and peace. What's happening? TZ, yeah, you know what I'm saying? People say they was the originators of crunk, horrorcore music. I think it was some people that preceded them on a horrorcore basis, though, for me to give them the credit on that. You know what I'm saying? But I had to tap in with like Gangsta Nip and whatnot when it comes to the horrorcore music. Sweet Tea, peace. What's happening? What's the word? But like I said, man, I'm a Bone Thugs fan, man. If y'all seen what transpired with Bizzy, man, it's crazy. The reactions. You know what I'm saying? I feel like life is crazy out here, man, because what was about a year ago, whenever Gucci Mane and Jeezy had their verses, everybody was tapped in. That was one of the most watched verses to this day. And one of the main reasons why people were tapped into that verses was to see an altercation. That's one of the main reasons why everybody was viewing that verses, to see if something was going to pop off between Gucci Mane and Jeezy, considering their history. So then, when we actually have a versus where an altercation takes place, now everybody like, we too old for this and X, Y, and Z. It's like, man, y'all was just watching the verses because y'all thought things was gonna pop off. If you know any history, if you know any Bone Thugs history, if you know any Bone Thug and Harmony history, and you have followed Bizzy Bone for any length of time, then you know what to expect when Bizzy is in the building. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things that you know that if it's directed towards Bizzy, Bizzy might not respond to that well. You know what I'm saying? So if you've been a Bone Thug and Harmony fan, if you followed Bone Thugs and Harmony for any length of time, then what Bizzy did wasn't really even surprising. But obviously, people are not Bone Thug and Harmony fans. Jamar, yeah, Brother Lynch. It's between Brother Lynch and Gangsta Nip, though, because Gangsta Nip was on that around the same time. But Brother Lynch and then Asham, too, or Asham. I'll be forgetting if I don't know how I'm saying his name, or Asham from Detroit. They was all on the horrorcore around the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard. But Gangsta Nip was on it. All of them was on it around that same time. Asham, Gangsta Nip, Brother Lynch, in regards to horrorcore. That's one of my favorite forms of music. But people don't realize the history, though, between 3-6 Mafia and Bone Thugs. Like, man, Bone Thugs got a whole 3-6 Mafia diss. Like, they were not always fans of one another. Now, really, for the most part, they still look like they not fans of one another. But I know Crazy Bone and did songs with Project Pat, and I think him and like Juicy J are cool. But back in the day, man, y'all already know it was a beef, man, because, you know what I'm saying, 3-6 was accusing Bone Thugs of taking their style and things along those lines. And if you know anything about the history of Bone Thugs, when they first came out, you can look that song up on YouTube right now. The song called Hell Sent. A lot of people don't know about Bone Thugs when they very first came out. I'm talking about the song Hell Sent. Like a lot of I forgot the name of that album. But the album with that song on it, man, you could look up that song right now and you can see the content of that song. And you can see why they had conflict. You know what I'm saying? But when they first came out, Bone Thugs was on some straight horrorcore. Yeah, probably was some Faces of Death. That's the album. I couldn't even. I knew I was about to say Faces of something. I was about to say Faces of Terror or something. Mess it all up. But yeah, man, they was 3-6 was basically saying they was trying to take their style, run with it, this, that, and the third. But man, Hell Sent is one of them songs. That's one of like my favorite Bone Thug songs, man, because they was going in on that joint. But like I said, if you know the history here, I don't want to say I'm a hip hop historian, but I rock with, you know what I'm saying? I rock with music. I rock with hip hop, man. So I can have these type of conversations for a very long time. Sick, what'd you say? I want to know how they could justify but frown upon violence again. And that's what I'm saying. Juicy J said something, and we know what he said. He said something directed towards Bizzy Bone, and like Bizzy Bone just wasn't going for it to start slanging bottles of water at the kid. And it is what it is, man. People act like, man, it's an age on altercations. Like, man, things happen. You know what I'm saying? Brothers had an altercation, man, the energy. And then I told people to check this out. What the songs that 3-6 Mafia were playing leading up to the altercation, what was the content of those songs? Man, all of those songs was some songs tear the club up. Like, come on, man. Like, the energy behind these songs was basically telling you, like, hey, I bet you won't hit up. Like, come on, man. Come on now. This was the content of the song. So now we surprised that something popped off. 3-6 Mafia makes fighting music, make music you want to fight. And people talk about the influence of music. And people talk about it ain't that influential. It ain't that powerful. Man, listen. 3-6 Mafia is known, man. When I used to go out back in the day, man, you would play that 3-6 Mafia song and it might go down. It might go down, man. You play the right Lil Jon song, it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down. Like 3-6 Mafia was like, listen to the songs that were being played leading up to the altercation. What is the music talking about? So why are we surprised when something pop off? Man, like y'all talking tough in these songs. So I'm finna go ahead and I'm finna test y'all real quick because y'all talking tough and y'all music about that. Man, we ain't gonna play with y'all. And Bizzy already felt some type of way about him. Now Bizzy was on some other stuff, basically saying they worshiping the devil and basically trying to get them to denounce Satan and all that type of stuff. Now that part of the game, me and Bizzy gonna kind of separate when he started talking about that. But Bizzy had a problem with that too. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, y'all devil worshippers, man, and y'all gonna denounce Satan and stuff like that. So Bizzy got a real big problem with them because he legit feel like they devil worshiping and whatnot. And that's his belief. I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like I said, I got family members that believe this type of stuff, and I just let them live. But man, emotions flared up. Bizzy lost his cool because dude said something like, and people was talking about, and this is the thing, people was talking about, man, you know what I'm saying? People joke and this, that, and the third, and it would they just words. I'm like, listen, I made the analogy. It's like when you playing a sport, and I was just talking about this. It's like when you playing a sport, and y'all know how it is, man, how they done tried to make it popular for people to be slapping your butt in sports, like in football or something. Well, you got some people that they cool with allowing that to happen. You got other people such as myself, like, you better not, when you come down this line, you slapping folks on their behinds. When you approach me, you know that that's not going to happen. And if you think it's going to happen, then we finna fight. There will be a physical confrontation. Now, you can say I'm taking it too far, but I've already let it be known that you're not about to be slapping my butt. I don't even care what your intentions are. I don't play like that. So Bizzy Bone is one of them doing like, man, you can't be saying certain things directed towards that brother. He gonna take it seriously. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that's just wired like that. And that's why I say I feel like I can relate to the Bizzy Bone energy. It's certain things that I will not allow a person to do or say to me that may seem insignificant to the next person. But if somebody do it or say it to me, I'm ready to fight. A lot of times that gets you, you get called sensitive and things like that, man. It's just everybody has certain things that they will tolerate. Everybody has certain things that they won't tolerate. It's certain words it's certain trigger words to me that when you say those words, it activates something in me to where it's like, hold on, I think we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? So if you come at me with a certain type of like if you come at me verbally in a certain manner, then I might have to it might get physical because I don't like that. I don't like that verbal approach. You know what I'm saying? Again, call it what you want to call it. Call it what you want to call it, but it is what it is, man. Some people, you just can't play with them. Some people, you just got to watch what you say around them and to them because you may have a situation. Now, again, if you don't mind having that situation with them, then say whatever you want to say around them. But some people, you got to understand. Some people, you got to understand. And then we ain't even get into the history of Bizzy being abducted, being touched as a child. Like, the man done had all type of issues. Now, I ain't saying that the other brothers up on that stage ain't had no type of issues, man. But Bizzy, it's clear that he has been like disturbed, corrupted, and all that type of stuff, man. He has been bothered. You know what I'm saying? He has had a traumatic past and whatnot. So that's clear. That's clear. Like I said, man, if you have been following Bizzy Bone, you know for a fact that that's clear. Like, Bizzy done been touched, man. He'd been abducted and all that type of stuff, man. Kidnapped. You know what I'm saying? This didn't happen to Bizzy. This didn't happen to Bizzy. It's almost like, and I don't want to use DMX as an example, but it's almost like being a fan of DMX. Man, you just know what DMX is struggling with. You know what I'm saying? So when DMX responds a certain type of way, or when DMX would move a certain type of way, like, you would just write it off like, man, that's DMX X, man. Like, that's just how he is. Like, literally, that's just how he is, man. That's X. Like, when he come around, this is just what he gonna be on. When you initially come across a person like X, you might be like, man, this dude tripping. Like, this dude crazy. But when you get to know X, it's like, all right, now you just accept him for who he is. Like, man, this X. You know what I'm saying? This dude, you might catch him on a good day, might catch him on a bad day. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what type of, it depends on the day in regards to the mood that you're going to catch him in. And honestly, I be relating to a lot of stuff like that because I done had a lot of situations that went left that I was involved in as a child, man, to where my temper would get the best of me. Everybody know I've admitted to struggling with temper issues again, which is why I can talk about Bizzy Bone energy, because I feel like that's like a temper situation, hot-headed situation. I definitely can relate to that, man. I got into a situation with my basketball coach my sophomore year. White dude said something to me that I ain't like, man. I hauled off and bow. I tossed a chair at him. You know what I'm saying? Tossed a chair. And it was just like, man, it's like all that anger, that rage, man. It was just built up inside of me. That's why I say sometimes, man, it's like black men, we got to deal with that. We got to deal with that rage, man. I done had a lot of outbursts in my life to where, man, somebody say the wrong thing to me on the wrong day, and man, it ain't no telling what I'm liable to do. That's why I tell a lot of people, that's why I'm thankful to like be here, because I could have put myself in situations to where the temper got the best of me and I end up doing something that I would later regret. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have a lot of pent up rage, a lot of pent up anger. Like when that white coach said something to me, man, the closest thing to me was a chair. And I was like, bow, I punched that mug and that mug flew. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't like what he said to me. Now, everybody could have been looking at me like that. This dude's sensitive. This dude is emotional. Nah, man, that dude, I feel like he violated me. I feel like he said something to me that he shouldn't have said to me in front of the rest of the team. So I was like, all right, man, that's how you want to talk to me? Cool, here we go. Let's go. Let me see if you really about that. You know what I'm saying? So I punched the chair went close to him. It ain't hit him or nothing like that. But, man, I just ain't like the way he talked to me. Yeah, I had plenty of situations like that, man. I got into it with almost every football coach I ever had. And that it all resulted from stuff like just building up inside of me and me not expressing myself. That's that rage. You know what I'm saying? Just suppressing it. Something to make me angry, I'll be like, all right, whatever. Something else to make me angry, it's like, all right, whatever. Something else to make me angry, it's like, all right, man, whatever. And then I have a coach or somebody that say something to me and I don't like it, and it's over. It's over. Ronald, for sure. And that's the part that people missing. Everybody like, oh man, we too grown to be out here fighting and doing that type of stuff. I'm like, did people miss the fact that he came back and apologized? And honestly, I don't even feel like, I don't feel like he didn't want to apologize, but I still feel like he didn't. It was obvious that he didn't want to come back up there. Like he wasn't really comfortable being up there after he apologized. Man, he just didn't want to ruin the vibe, ruin the moment for the squad. But he wasn't necessarily too fond of them, and you can tell when he came back and apologized. Like he was just like, I still don't feel this. You could see it on his face, man. You could really see it on his face. Like he did not fool with 3-6 Mafia. Like he wasn't too fond of him, even when he came back and apologized. But he did though. So he swallowed the pride and he came back up there and he apologized. You know what I'm saying? He did that. He didn't have to do that. He could have been like, man, I'm gone, man. Forget all this. He came back and apologized. And I like how people ain't acknowledging that fact. So in the same breath that we want to tear this man down and say, man, he shouldn't have did that, man. He tripping. He acting like a diva. He came back and apologized though. So why ain't nobody giving him credit for that? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody giving him credit for that. But like I said, at the end of the day, I know how I can get, especially with the temper, especially if I already got a history with the people. You know what I'm saying? So if it's somebody, man, if it's somebody that's been talking greasy and we done been dissing each other for years, but we never like had a physical encounter, like it ain't no telling how things gonna pan out for us when we meet in the physical, because we dealing with years of just like unresolved issues. You know what I'm saying? We done had back and forth, and it's some slick stuff that done been said. And it's just like, as a man, like I'm gonna be like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna respond to this dude when I see him in the physical. If they say something slick, then I might, you know what I'm saying, they might have to go there. You know what I mean? So I didn't been there, done that. That's why a lot of times I stay low key, because I know how that temper can get. And a lot of times, man, we don't discuss this as black men, man. We don't discuss the temper. I know I ain't the only brother that suffers from temper issues, man. Just that pent up aggression, just from having to deal with the world, man, just having to deal with the unresolved traumas and conflicts. Because again, it's not popular for, you know what I'm saying, brothers to be breaking down and venting and talking about the traumas that we experienced as a child. It ain't popular for us to do that. You know what I'm saying? We got to be so-called strong, and we got to hold this stuff in and keep pushing. So it ain't popular for us to deal with these things. So a lot of times, most black men especially, we have this pent-up aggression. You know what I'm saying? We have it. Like, for the most part, every other brother you gonna come across probably got some pent up aggression, especially if he true to himself and dealing with the world out here, man. That's gonna be some pent up aggression. Percy, appreciate that donation. You sound like you can't talk to me any kind of way. I have checked supervisor, siblings, even my dad, respectfully. Percy, I just about to say, me and my pops and got into it. Man, I'm telling you, me and my pops stayed getting into it. And I mean, I ain't saying that to be proud. Like, some of the stuff that he was saying, it was right. But I always felt like, man, if my word wasn't being respected, and this was even as a child, I was feeling like, man, if my word wasn't being respected, if I felt like you wasn't trying to listen to my angle, to my point of view, if you weren't trying to take my feelings into consideration, we gonna have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like I always been like that, man. I used to get into it with everybody, and I always felt like I was misunderstood. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd always get into it with people, but I felt like it revolved around me just feeling like people wasn't really listening to what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I'm a victim of people pay attention to you when you snap and spaz, and then they mislabel you angry, hot-headed, bad temper, short temper. But they don't acknowledge the times where you have tried to warn people, or you have tried to have conversations with people, or you were level-headed. They only pay attention to the one time out of the 100 that you spazzed out on somebody. And then they mislabel you and they say you a hothead. They say you have a bad temper. It's like, nah, man, this person been talking greasy to me this whole time. The one time I decided to respond to him, how you about to tell me I got a short temper? Man, I've been letting this person talk slick this whole time. I tried to warn him. Like, hey, brother, hey, this ain't the day, this ain't the time to be talking to me like that. I suggest you don't do that. And they keep doing it. After a while, you're going to end up spazzing out on the person. So the time that you spaz out, that's when everybody want to look at you crazy. That didn't happen to me more than enough times. Which is how you get hit with the bad temper or the short temper label. Because they pay attention to you when you spaz. They don't pay attention to you when you're chilling. They don't pay attention to that. They don't pay attention when you ignoring the nonsense. They ain't paying attention to that. They ain't giving you no cool points for that. They like, nah, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna give you no cool points for that. But when you spaz out, like when me and my pops used to get into it, I get labeled disobedient and stuff like that. Disrespectful. The one time I decided to kind of go back and forth with him, now I'm disrespectful, disobedient. Now, all the other times where I didn't say anything to do, you know what I'm saying, didn't respond and listen to what he said, ain't nobody saying you very respectful. Ain't nobody saying that. It's the one time where I'm like, man, I don't kind of like what you said. And here's why. Now you don't listen. You disrespectful. You disobedient. It's like, nah, man, you said something that I don't even feel like that was right and exact. And it was pertaining to me. And I just felt like that wasn't right. And I'm trying to correct it. Now you disobedient. You're disrespectful. I used to get hit with that a lot. And what that leads to is to eventually, that leads to you shutting off, like shutting down. And you don't want to talk to anybody because you feel like every time you talk to a person, it escalates. And it turns into a situation like that. So that's why I became the person that I am today, because I got tired of getting to it. I feel like, man, every time I talk to somebody, every time I express myself, it leads into a verbal altercation. And sometimes it might get physical. So I'm like, all right, it's better if I just don't say anything. And it's definitely not better by doing that. Definitely not better. Percy, my brother, appreciate donation again. You say my dad started to take me serious when I didn't talk to him for 4 months because of what he said and did. He realized he was wrong and apologized for sure. And again, sometimes what you got to do, that's silence. That's silence. I go back and forth. Like I ain't even mastered the silence for some people yet. I go back and forth. Then you get labeled sensitive. You get labeled emotional and things like that. You know what I'm saying, man? I done had some situations that I'm not going to reveal, you know what I'm saying, because it's personal. But it's some things right now, if I told y'all would be like, Dad, you was right. You was right for approaching it like that. They shouldn't have, you know what I'm saying, that shouldn't have been said about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally, I have checked people for like some things that they would maybe have said about me that was just like clearly wrong. And I'm going to check. I'm like, man, no, don't do that. Like, I don't joke like that. Don't say that about me. Like, don't do that. Don't speak about me like that when I'm not around. Type deal. And people will be like, oh, you sensitive. Because I'm telling you not to talk greasy about me while I'm not around to other people. What's sensitive about that? Like, nah, I feel like that's lame. And I feel like that's whack. You know what I'm saying? So don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm requesting is you not do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's soft. Like, that's making me question you. You know what I'm saying? So like it be stuff like that I didn't have to, like, I check people on, like, man, don't do that. Don't talk greasy when I'm not around and then be trying to be my friend when you're in my face. Because once I get word that you talking crazy, then we might have to have a conversation. Like, don't fake it, man. Don't be doing like that's one thing I can't stand. Like, don't be that person. Talking dirty behind somebody's back, and then when they're in your face, it's like, oh, you trying to bend over backwards for them. I don't like that, man. I don't like that. Jay Green would say people think they can talk to you anyway when you don't say nothing, but when you turn up on them, then people be scared of confrontation. Exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? When you silent, then they call you soft. It's crazy. When you silent, you soft. But then when you respond, you sensitive. Like, that's crazy. So if you remain silent, oh, you soft. But then when you respond, you sensitive. Like, come on, man. So it's like a lose-lose situation. So I just feel like, let me respond so you can know that this ain't that. And that's, I give that advice to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you got to let people know. Like, if they say something that goes against something that you stand for, you correct it then and there. You let people know that they're not about to verbally walk over you. You got to do that instantly. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually people going to get drained and they're not going to talk a certain type of way when you get around. But if you never say anything, if you never correct the error, if you never correct them, then they're going to feel like it's cool. If they continue to talk like this when you around, disrespect your culture, disrespect you, disrespect your personality, whatever you want to call it, they're going to feel like it's cool as long as you don't address it and correct it. For instance, like the way that I eat, you know what I'm saying? Not eating meat, not eating dairy. People can, like, it's crazy. People could joke about it all the time. Every time they see me, people can joke about it. That's cool. They see me 1,000 times. Then on that one day where I'm having a bad day and they joke about it, I'm like, man, look, could you chill on the vegan jokes, bro? Like, this stuff is corny, it's played out. You do this every time I'm around. Then they be like, oh, he's sensitive. He's sensitive. Then the moment you tell them about the pork and how they not gonna last another 10 years because that's gonna lead to a heart attack, then they want to look at you crazy. But they can joke about your lifestyle this whole entire time. Then the moment that you respond, it's like you sensitive. Then when you joke about their lifestyle, now it's a problem. Dish it out, but can't take it. Dish it out, but can't take it. But it's like, don't nobody pay attention to that. People make fun of my lifestyle all the time in regards to being a vegan. People subliminal jokes all the time. What they call it, sub tweets and, like, you know what I'm saying, subliminal disses all the time. The one time I decide to respond to something, that's when people want to mislabel you. Ah, man, he's just sensitive. He's sensitive. All right, whatever, man. I'll let you talk your talk. I'll let you put out this misinformation 1,000,000 times. One day I decided that this is enough. Now you want to say you sensitive. I'll be that then. I'll be whatever it is you think I am. Anaya, is what you say. They disrespect loners. What's my comeback for them? Oh, when they disrespect when they disrespect the loners, when they disrespect the fact, like when I start talking about, you know what I'm saying, not rocking with a lot of people, and people try to disrespect that aspect of my life, man, I just talk about how happy how peaceful. I don't use the word happy. I talk about how peaceful I am by not dealing with a lot of people. So I hit them with that joint. Like, man, I'm peaceful. I'm at peace. My life was way more stressful when I was trying to be friends with a lot of people or claim to be friends with a lot of people. Life was a lot more stressful then. When I said, all right, forget this circle, I'm just going to roll with like a half a circle or something along those lines. Or like a little line or something, not even a half a circle, probably just a straight line. And I said, all right, man, you know, that's how I'm going to rock. Life became less stressful. So if you want to entertain all these people and call them friends and feel like that's the way to live, and you want to endure that stress, you want to take on that stress, be my guest. I'm not. Terenzo, Alonzo, peace, what's happening? But man, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't been there, done that. People poke fun of my lifestyle all the time. And it's like the one time I respond, it's almost like being short too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I go back in the day, being the short one, the smallest one, people will test you. So they'll test you in the neighborhood. They want to test you to see if you got some heart. I ain't the biggest person in the room. So, you know what I'm saying? When you're a child, you getting tested. It's like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let you get that one off. Then when you start responding, they start saying you got a short, like the short man syndrome and all that type of stuff. They start hitting you with that nonsense. It's like, dude. So this taller person can try to pick on the shorter person every day, all day. Then when the short person finally get mad and body slam them, Then now all of a sudden he got a short man complex. Like, nah, man, I'm not finna just keep letting you think you finna try me because you bigger than me. Like, nah, I'm finna let you know that this ain't that eventually. But when I do respond, that's a problem. Oh, you got the short man syndrome. What they got, Napoleon complex, things along those lines. Man, quit playing with me. I'm not gonna let somebody bully me though. I'm not gonna let anybody bully me physically. Like, nah, I don't care who you are. And that's how you earn a reputation. That's how you get some respect. You would think that at my size, like as small as I was, you would think that I was picked on a lot. Man, I wasn't though. Like somebody asked me that question, like they was like, man, when y'all was in high school playing football, man, did they try to do the hazing and stuff like that with you? I said, nah, man. I said, ain't nobody touched me. I said, they tried that with some other people. They tried with some dudes that was bigger than me, but they never tried it with me. I said, I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? Like some things that they wasn't about to come at me in certain ways because I was gonna kill it instantly, and then probably the way I was walking around. So I'm like, nah, man, ain't nobody try me like that, man. They just said they wasn't gonna do it. So I was able to walk around, man, respectfully as a small guy when nobody trying me off of the strength of that, man. Because again, like you gotta let people know like that this ain't that. If I would have just allowed the first people ever that tried to bully me because they was bigger than me to succeed, then that wouldn't have ended well for my future, man. So you gotta learn, you gotta stand up for yourself out here, man. And that's verbally and physically. You got to stand up for yourself, man. If it's some things that's near and dear to you, if you feel like somebody verbally violated it, correct them. Don't worry about how people gonna perceive you. Don't worry about people calling you sensitive and emotional, things like that. Whatever. Everybody is emotional. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has emotions that they deal with. You know what I mean? So again, like forget all of that nonsense. We ain't worried about how people view us. Like I'm definitely one of them ones that people say you take things too serious. Are you sensitive and stuff like that, man? Because it's just certain things. Like when you talk about a certain subject around me and I start responding, I get passionate. And a lot of times that passion gets mistaken for sensitivity. So if you want to call it me being sensitive, cool. I call it me being passionate. So when some certain things are brought up, I go off. I go off. Especially if it's the right day, I'm going to go off. I'm going to go off. Like y'all done seen me been on here before. Like that's how I would get when we break up a certain subject and it rubbed me the wrong way how the person brought it up. I'm finna go off. We finna go off. We finna go there. About to go there. Terenzo, and that's exactly Terenzo. And that's what I was basically alluding to when I said emotional. Everybody has emotions. So boom, when they be like, oh, you are emotional. Oh, okay, so what? You are too. You dig? Sharif, Ben C Square, peace. What's happening? Jay for sure. You know what I'm saying? See, hey, we got that similar, we got that build, you know what I'm saying? Again, like I don't a lot of time, that's why I say, man, I could go to a lot of neighborhoods and be good. Like you said, it's all about how you carry yourself. I ain't carrying myself like I'm the toughest somebody, like I cannot be touched, but I carry myself in a manner to where people are dudes. I always get respect from them type of dudes. Like if I went to a place, if I went to the side of town where it's the most dangerous dudes on the planet, like I'm gonna probably walk out of that situation with some dudes that rocking with me just because of the way I carry myself. They gonna walk away respecting me just because of the way I carry myself. I ain't walking in disrespectful. I ain't disrespecting nobody's territory and turf. Like if this is your territory, this your neck of the woods, this your turf, I'm respecting that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just laying low. I ain't overstepping no boundary. I'm chilling. But you not about to talk to me crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let you do that. So again, man, you earn that respect, man. So I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say I'm invincible. I'm not trying to say I'm the toughest somebody on the planet. But I have maneuvered through life and I barely get into altercations because of the level of respect that people tend to have for me. And I'm talking about other dudes. I'm talking about to show you how revolutionary my story is, man. The only time I got suspended in school for fighting, I fought a white boy. To let y'all know my story, the only time I got suspended in school, I fought a white boy. So that's just it's in my blood. I bet you that makes sense. I bet you y'all could have predicted that. The only time I got suspended for fighting in school, I fought a white boy. So that's just how my story should go anyway. You know what I'm saying? That just makes sense for my story. And then the last time I had an altercation, we was in college. Guess what? More white boys. So that's where my energy be going when I'm fighting. That's who I'm fighting out here. That's who I'm fighting. The only time I got suspended for fighting in school, I fought a white boy. So that's how my story go. This is real life, no made up stuff, man. My only suspension for fighting, I fought a white boy. Bobby, yeah, when we was in Davenport, yeah, a situation had popped off to where one of the dudes that I was cool with, he hauled off and punched one of the white boys, man. So it became a situation. It became a situation. But yeah, we was in Davenport, Iowa, man. Quad Cities. You know what I'm saying? That was the last kind of like altercation that I've had. More white boys. More white boys. But the last time I got, like, when I got suspended from school, that was a while back. Years ago, I fought a white boy. This was here in St. Louis. Fought a white boy. And y'all best believe I didn't take that L. That's one L I ain't never taken. Yeah, we fight these white boys. I'm fighting y'all for all my ancestors that have ever suffered. It's a different type of fighting. You know what I'm saying? When it's a white dude opposed to your brother. Like, I don't even really want to do harm to my brother like that. But this white, it's like, man, I don't, like, nah, y'all get it. Prodigal son, there you say he got suspended. Oh, nice, for sure. Yeah, Rock Island, Moline, Davenport. And man, I'm forgetting the other one. I'm forgetting the fourth joint. Was it East Moline or something like that? Yeah, Devontae, you say it all determines how they speak to you and the type of tone they use against you, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say, man, I feel like I be having a lot of respect from, like, even back in the day in school. Like I said, man, you had the people that was always in the trouble. Man, I was cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I had respect from, like, everybody, man. Like, from the dudes that was up to no good to the people that was making the straight A's, from the people that was in between. I was cool with some of everybody just simply because of how I carried myself. You know what I'm saying? How I conducted myself. You know what I'm saying? When we play, you know what I'm saying, we slap boxing or whatever, we play fighting in the bathroom. I ain't finna be the one ducked off in the corner afraid to go at it with the people that everybody afraid to fight with. We finna box. So it's like, man, you gotta earn your respect. And this comes with, again, this always connects back to raising these young boys. Raising these young boys, man. It's like, man, I learned early, man, you gotta defend yourself out here. You can't be afraid to defend yourself verbally and physically. You know what I'm saying? People gonna test you. People gonna test you. That's almost like human nature, especially if you built a certain type of way. People gonna test you. So that's why I be real adamant about not raising soft boys. Like, you can't be raising these boys to be soft. Like, they gotta have some type of physicality behind them, because they gonna get tested in this world, man. So they gotta have backbone. They gotta have it, man. They gotta be able to stand up for themselves. And the way they being raised these days, they not being raised in a way to stand up for themselves. You know what I'm saying? They not being raised in that way. And we got a lot of different reasons as to why they are not being raised that way. And we could debate those reasons. But the fact of the matter is, these young boys, they not being raised to have any backbone. They trying to condition society that we got to watch what we say to them. Like, nah, man, no, have a backbone, be able to stand up. Somebody say something to you that you don't like, address it. Say something about it. Stand up to it. Somebody picking on you physically, you hit them upside the head, man. Hit them in the nose, punch them right in that nose. Now, we ain't finna take that bullying. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not gonna take that bullying. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, man. Y'all know Malcolm X. Y'all know his approach. You know what I'm saying? We not gonna take. Look, we ain't coming with the intention of being violent. But if somebody about to be violent with us, then it's like, all right, man, if you about to violate me physically, then we about to go there. But I'm not about to go out of my way to violate you physically. But if you come threatening me in my universe, then I'm gonna deal with you accordingly. That's the law. That's a law of manhood. You know what I'm saying? Certain things you just gotta defend you gotta defend your honor, you gotta defend your name, you gotta defend your family, defend your universe. Sometimes it's a law of manhood. Like you violated me as a man, like we might have to go there. Now again, I ain't talking about having all the guns and whatnot, shooting and killing one another. Sometimes things get physical. That's just like if you was a young boy growing up. Listen, if you didn't have a physical altercation, like I'm looking at you like you sideways, like that's a part of being a boy. I mean, a young boy growing up into a man. We gonna have physical altercations. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just gonna happen. We have our little altercation. And sometimes, man, you might end up being best friends with somebody you had the altercation with, man. How many times you done boom, had a problem with a person, y'all hash out y'all differences physically, y'all had a fight, and man, y'all good friends from there on out. Oh yeah, Jay. No, we ain't listen, we ain't getting Nate Robinson out here. I ain't out listen. I do a lot of things before I go out like dude did. Ain't nobody finna do me like that. I listen. If I'm on now, I'm sorry. Like if we boxing on national, like nah. Before I get knocked down like that in front of people, we gonna start doing some MMA or something. We gonna grapple or something. Like I'm finna get disqualified. It ain't happening. Nice. That's how you got to do it. K-pop for sure. Like I said, man, I wasn't mad. Listen, Bizzy did what he did, man, and he didn't like what they were doing as far as mocking them, and he didn't like what Juicy J said to him, and he responded accordingly, and he came back and apologized. What more do y'all want from the man? What more do y'all want from the man, man? Talking about we too old for. First of all, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. They was like, man, we too old to be fighting. Man, I feel like 3-6 Mafia was too old to be up there rapping some of them songs they was rapping. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. They was up there doing that. So hey, man, that's they had an altercation. They like let move on. It happens, man. It happens. Oh, Jay, yeah, for sure. Like, man, and again, people don't understand the physical. Now, like we got as men, we got to talk about this stuff, type of stuff, man, because we be having this pent up aggression. Hence why we a lot of times we play contact sports. Like it's a physical aggression, like the testosterone in us, like this type of stuff be having to come out. That's why I got to do things like lift weights. That's why I got to do things like punch a heavy bag. Like we got to release this energy, or else like it may come out like physically. Like we men, so we want to do things physically. Like that's why we can't sit in the classroom and we get misdiagnosed with ADHD. Like we got to be physically active. And that's the same way with anger. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be physically active when we angry. That's why I be like, man, we got to hit the heavy bag, shadow box, something. You know what I'm saying? Like we be dealing with a lot of aggression. But it ain't that we are glorifying it. It's just that this is something that we deal with as men. And we got to have positive outlets to unleash this aggression and anger. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna hit us, man. We in the wilderness of North America. We gonna have situations to where it's like, man, I gotta really thoroughly think about this, man. Should I knock this dude out and risk losing my life because I don't know what this dude got, or should I just walk away? Then every time you walk away from a situation like that and you didn't want to, that's just building up more and more, building up more and more. It's more build up, you know. But yeah, Jay, I remember I had a situation to where it was a dude a few years older than me, and we got in the gloves for whatever reason we got in the gloves for, man, and we ended up boxing for so long, man. They literally, the neighborhood just had to step in and stop because neither one of us was going down. Like we would have kept boxing until one of us died or something. Like it was that like we did not want to drop. We kept going, man. I'll never forget that, man. We started off in 1 yard, and we ended up like down the street somewhere. Man, we just kept going, man. I'm like, man, I'm like, look, we like you good, I'm good. Yeah, I ain't stopping. I ain't sitting. I ain't resting. We finna keep going. He ain't dropped yet. So man, we just kept going, man. To the people in the neighborhoods, like, man, y'all got to stop, man. Like this is getting ridiculous. So I already know, like that's just it can get like that. Hence why I tend to not try to place myself in those type of environments and situations because these dudes don't fight. You know what I'm saying? They don't play fair. So I don't even want to place myself in that type of predicament. Blade, what you say, riot or revolution? Oh, the revolution is more so what we after. But the riot is going to be a part of the revolution, though. Oh, Anthony, man, for sure. That again, that's why I feel like all young men should take, even women too, young girls, they should definitely learn how to defend themselves. But I definitely feel like young boys should be in some type of martial arts, boxing, MMA, something in that field. I feel like all young boys should be like, if I was starting a school, that would be in the curriculum. Martial arts, boxing, MMA, like something that involves that. Learning how to defend yourself, learning how to throw a punch, learning how to fight, whatever. Like that would be a part of the curriculum. Like that would be a required course in order for you to move on to the next grade. Like you got to master the art of defending yourself every year. You know what I'm saying? That would be a major part of the curriculum. Major part. Just peace, what's happening? Chris, my brother, peace, what's happening? God is peace, queen, what's happening? But yeah, that should be a major part of the curriculum. Learning how to defend, like learning how to defend yourself, just learning how to throw a punch, learning how to fight, like things along those, learning how to, you know what I'm saying, handle weaponry, all of that type of stuff, man, should be required teaching in school. Required. That would be, if I was making a curriculum, that would be a main portion of the curriculum. Self-defense, things along those lines. Oh, Blade, for sure. I was thinking of the stream I did about that book, or utilizing that book for sure. For sure. But yeah, man, like that busy bone energy, man. I feel like a lot of black men have that energy. And I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough. I feel like a lot of black men are on, like, this is what I mean by a lot of us are on that or have that type of energy. I feel like a lot of us brothers, we are one disrespectful sentence away from doing what Busy Bone did to somebody. If that makes any sense. I feel like most of my brothers, we are one disrespectful sentence from the right person or the wrong person away from losing it. One disrespectful sentence. If it comes from that wrong person, we losing it. I feel like most of us are on that type of vibe. Because it's a lot of aggression, it's a lot of anger that we're not able to deal with. Just being men. You know what I'm saying? That we just don't feel comfortable dealing with. We don't feel safe dealing with and talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we are one disrespectful sentence away from the wrong person. We are one disrespectful sentence from the wrong person away from just going crazy, completely losing it. I feel like that's most brothers, man. I feel like that's most brothers. I feel like if most brothers was on that same stage last night and it was somebody that they didn't care for that was across from them on that stage, and that person said something they ain't like, we would have been on the same type of vibe. And it's partly because we don't deal with our trauma, we don't deal with our conflicts, things that we have dealt with. Like it's just not popular in the black male community to deal with these things, man. Like some of us are getting better with it, but man, I know it's man, I'd have had personal situations with like my pops. You know what I'm saying? People attending to go to therapy, trying to get dude with therapy. And he like, man, I don't need this. This is stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, like we could get stubborn when it comes to things like therapy. And I know that for a fact, man. I know other situations where people have told me they tried to go to therapy with they do, but they do was like, man, I ain't going to this, man. This is stupid. Or they tried to go to therapy with they pops, and they pops was like, man, I'm not doing that. This is stupid. So that's like we can get stubborn when it comes to therapy. And I'm talking about black men, especially when we get a little bit older. We just feel like it's nonsense, it's pointless. We ain't got time for that. And what I need to talk to this stranger for about my problems, it's all good. I got it. I'm gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of personal cases where that is the reality. And every time we continue to reject the help, we making it that much harder for people to, you know what I'm saying, love us and all that type of stuff, man. We making it that much harder every time that we continue to reject the help. So we got to stop rejecting the help, rejecting the assistance. Because we don't, like I said, man, you're gonna end up lashing out on the wrong person. It might be the right person, but you're gonna end up lashing out and it's gonna get physical. because that's just how we are. Oh, Jay, for sure, man. I'm telling you. Like PE, man, instead of us learning about some of the garbage we learning about in gym class, man, I'll never forget. I don't know if I'm the only one. I'm sure I'm not, man. I know people that's older than me, man, had the square dance in gym before. Like, man, we was out here square dancing. Man, come on, man. Like, what they got to do with anything? We out here square dancing. Nah, we could be learning self-defense. We out here square dancing though in PE. I know I ain't the only one that we was out here square dancing, man. Straight stupid. Straight stupid. Like it's a bunch of white kids in this school. Man, it's all black. We out here learning how to square dance. Come on. Square dancing. Like this is legit some stuff we had to endure being in gym class. Square dancing. Like, and that's just one thing. Like it's other stuff that is just pointless. We could be learning self-defense, but we out here square dancing. Come on, man. It's crazy. Oh, Alonzo, man. Hey, Q Butter. Like, I'm familiar with it. I'm familiar with the G. I'm familiar with him. Most definitely. Lorenzo, what'd you say? What'd you say? People often associate rage with a living being losing control when that is a form of control, as things can always be worse than what people say, for sure. And that's why that book I got the name of it is called Righteous Rage. As long as you don't let that rage consume you and control you and you control it, it's all good. It's all good. It's what they call that righteous rage, man. We direct that rage in the right direction towards the right folks or the right things, and it can be productive. It can be utilized productively and efficiently. But most of the time, man, it be misdirected rage, and that causes the problem. Yeah, that causes the problem. DJ Elmo Peach, what's happening? Chris, man, yeah, I don't even know, man, but I know we was out here doing that joint. It's crazy, man. I remember, man, it was just a bunch of stuff that I remember, man, as a kid that it was like it's pointless. Why are we even being penalized for this? I remember being in music class, man, and they had us singing, man, them little stupid songs that they would have you singing as a kid. And I just got tired of it one day. I'm like, man, I'm not about to sing this song. And if I sing this song, I'm finna sing it so trash to where you gonna tell me to sit down. Man, I straight got penalized for that. I'm like, man, I can't sing, man. Singing ain't something I want to do. I straight got penalized for that. I straight got penalized for it. Like, how do you, like, come on, man. Like, dude, really? That's the type of stuff we was getting penalized for as kids, man. Like, we ain't learning anything that's useful. You know what I'm saying? You get mad at me because I can't sing and I don't want to sing. So I'm just going to, you know what I'm saying, purposefully mess up this song so I can get up out of singing. Like, when you don't want me part of your choir and I can't sing, that's stupid. But I was getting penalized for it, though. Straight got penalized. So I never forget. I think I was in like the 4th grade. I was like, man, I'm tired. I was tired of going to that music class singing. I'm like, this is getting ridiculous. I'm tired of this, boy. I ain't no singer. I don't want to sing. So I just started being silent. And Mug got mad. So I said, all right, you gonna get mad? All right, cool. Watch what I'm finna do. I tore it up. Gross. So she was just like, sit down. And I'm like, cool. I ain't want to sing anyway. So you should just let me be quiet. Like, this is ridiculous. There's other ways to go about teaching music opposed to trying to have us sing. Like, everybody in here ain't no singers. But that's the type of stuff we was learning in school, man. And y'all can see what I'm saying, like the temper. Like, it'd be stuff like that, man. I feel like that's reasonable. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, man, I can't sing. So if I don't want to sing, like, I shouldn't have to because it sounds stupid. Like, I'm gonna mess up the vibe because I can't sing. Like, I feel like, why are you trying to force somebody to do something they can't do? Singing ain't my thing, man. Nor am I comfortable doing it, nor can I do it. I feel like that was justifiable. But then you get called defiant. You got a bad temper. Like, that's why, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of stuff people was getting on me about because I didn't want to do something that I couldn't do, that I didn't care to do. Like, man, I didn't care to sing. CC Peach, what's happening? What's that? You came in at the square dance. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, man, I was, you know what I'm saying? I was getting penalized for little stuff like that, little goofy stuff like that, man. It's goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Goofy stuff that shouldn't even be a part of our school system. I was getting penalized for it. Like, man, that's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Akuma, I think one of the only things that was saving me from ADHD meds is that I was smart. Like, you know what I'm saying? I did my work, so I had decent grades. So I feel like that's like the only thing that saved me. Like me being like a little active or whatnot as a young boy, it didn't affect my grades until I got to like high school. And I just didn't care anymore at that particular point. You know what I'm saying? But all the way up until like high school, I was active like that. But man, I like school was so easy that it wasn't affecting me. So they didn't really have they really couldn't be like, oh, he can't be still and his grades are suffering. They didn't have anything to put on me. But like my grades was good. You know what I'm saying? I was decent. That's what like they just ain't have anything that they could slap on me to say, man, we need to put them on some meds. Like they didn't have anything to put on me, at least back then. Then I got to high school, I just didn't care. In high school, I was a total opposite. I was falling asleep in class, I didn't care no more. I was like, man, this is all some BS, man. I'm just ready to get done with it. Man, see, you don't even try to imagine it because it wasn't happening. You know what I'm saying? It's just y'all know how. Listen, y'all know how white folks dance. So as Chris said, man, just imagine like the electric slide, but just the white version of it, meaning no rhythm. Like that's literally all it is, man. It's just garbage. Garbage. Like we natural dancers. Like the black folks that can dance, like that's natural for us to have a little bit of rhythm. Like the white folks got to work hard to have some rhythm. Square dancing is that. Square dancing is them trying to figure out how in the world can we have some rhythm as white people. Square dancing, do-si-do, and all that. Like that's them trying to figure out how to have rhythm. That's them basically watching us saying how they move like that. Let's create something. See, for us, it's natural. It's almost like music. This is another thing. Like they started to incorporate music notes and stuff like that. Like because they couldn't naturally play music like we did. That's why that's why some of your greatest musicians that are black, like they can't read music because we naturally gifted. Then white folks created the music notes and things like that so they could try to master these instruments. We had just learned how to master the instrument just by playing around with it. We didn't need to read music. You know what I'm saying? Just give us a rhythm like you want it to go like how, and we finna rock. We finna rock it out. Then they said, all right, man, we got to put them at a disadvantage. We gonna create these music notes in our language. And then we gonna penalize them for not being able to read the music. But they the best drummer. He the best drummer out here. He can't read the music though. So we can't have him out there. But he can outdrum everybody. He just can't read the music. That's how they would do us. That's how they would do us. Because we can't follow their directions. Like we can master these instruments, but they don't want to like, you can't read our music. You can't read our notes. Man, but I can play the exact song you want me to play. I can play it. I just ain't about to play it looking at your sheet of music. RC for sure, man. I knew how to play the drum, and I got that type of stuff in my family. I figured out how to read the notes. You know what I'm saying? I eventually learned how to read the notes, but it's like, man, I watched plenty of people just naturally know how to play these instruments, and most of them was black, and it was just like they'll look at music notes like, man, what is all of this? But they'll play the same exact song that we playing just by hearing it. It's like, see, that's what I'm saying. Then it's like, we gotta create a disadvantage around here. All right, hit them with the music notes. Hit them with the notes. Yeah, Chris, swing your partner by the hand, like all these instructions because they don't know how to do it. They don't know how. When you don't know how to naturally do something, you got to create these instructions. Black folk, we naturally know how to move. You know what I'm saying? Naturally have a rhythm. There are no instructions because we just become one with something. We become one with the rhythm. We become one with the sound, and we move accordingly. White folks like, man, we don't know how to do that. Let's create instructions on how to dance. Like that's what it is. Like we just do stuff. It is natural. Like, all right, man. All right, this what the rhythm is. All right, I'm finna move like this. They gotta be like, nah, we gotta have these instructions. Just like cooking, man. You got a lot of black people that do not follow any type of instruction when it comes to cooking. Man, you would get something, you would buy a food, man. They have instructions on the back, man. You think my grandmother was gonna look at them instructions? Nope. You think my grandmother was looking at instructions on how to cook some type of food? Nope. Nope. They learned the game from the ladies that was cooking before them. That's where they got the recipe from. They ain't man. It could be a whole dish, and the instructions could be right there on the back of whatever that did. They right there. They can have the instructions. They ain't finna look at it. They ain't gonna look at them instructions. It could be right there, clear as day, on how to make whatever it is they about to make. They like, nah, I ain't finna do that. I ain't looking at that. I ain't looking at them instructions. Oh, Z, for sure. You already know I know, man. I was snare drummed out. Oh, CC for sure, man, for sure. Like I said, man, I got cousins, man, that be on the keyboard, like the piano and stuff, man, just naturally loud, it's cold. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of cool with the drums. And then they started making us read these notes, play these little corny songs that was getting on my nerves, man. So that ain't last. I'll Rashid for sure. Yeah, nice. That's what I'm saying. We famous for that. We famous for the freestyle cooking. Like that's what we do. I'm telling you, boy, you can get definitely. I'm telling you, you can get that black woman that them instructions if you want. Man, she about to look at them instructions and she about to do everything but what them instructions tell her to do. Man, that instruction say 2 tablespoons of turmeric. Man, they done put 16 tablespoons of the turmeric in there. Man, like they about to do everything the opposite of what them instructions is saying do. Like, man, them instructions don't say that. And you know you know what I'm saying, when you a brother and cooking ain't your thing, you follow instructions to a T. Follow instructions and that food don't turn out how you want it to turn out. Like you be getting mad. Man, God, I am telling you, when you said I season till the ancestors tell me, I think I have heard that type of line, of course, remixed by every black woman in my life. I have literally heard a line like, and that is the literal truth. Y'all season until something tells you to stop. Literally. And this is true. I'm gonna look at them directions and them things when they say, all right, you put this much seed, and I'm finna do that. Nah, y'all get the season until it's something tell y'all to stop. I've seen, I bear witness to that. Oh yeah, Chris, to be very fair. For one, I don't need that cha-cha slide used to aggravate me. That dude getting paid, man, that song come on every family function. You know, Muggs in that song said, this how you know that's Charlie Brown. Like that dude told people to do Charlie Brown. Like, man, what? Oh yeah, better future for sure, man. We definitely are the rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to work hard. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to work hard for the rhythm at all. Yeah, we don't have to work hard for the rhythm at all, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we naturally are. Like I ain't one. I'm not a dancer. Like that ain't what I do. What Ice Cube said, gangsters don't dance, we boogie. I boogie. So whatever boogieing is, that's what I do. I ain't doing all this dancing though. But you know what I'm saying? I know some brothers that can do all of that. The dancing ain't for me. It ain't for your boy. You know what I'm saying? That is not for your boy at all. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna bust no two-step. I ain't finna bust no none of that. We just gonna boogie. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have that water, we're gonna have that green juice in the hand, and we gonna nod to that beat if the song making sense. You know what I'm saying? But that's about it. That's about it. The dancing and all that ain't for your boy. It's never been for your boy. Like I said, when Ice Cube and them said gangsters don't dance, we boogie, I boogie. I boogie. And I mean that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people already know. We ain't doing all that. I ain't even, you know what I'm saying? I don't even like listening to like dance music. Like music, you know what I'm saying? Like I just don't even like that type of music. So where it's just dance me. Like I'm just not into that, just ain't me. Like I said, man, black folks naturally we got the nature. I'm just an exception. I mean, we just got the natural rhythm and all that. I'm an exception to that rule. I don't do that. I don't do it. Plenty of times they went to functions and I'm posted, as we would call it. I ain't doing all that, man. I ain't doing all that silly dance. I ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? Just nah. You know what I'm saying? I rap a lyric or something if I like the song. That's about it. Better future, man. So it's only a matter of time before I start that. You know how it is. Sometimes things be getting a little crazy. You know, I be trying to find these cats that be want to talk greasy. Those are people I really be want to get them on this joint. Go ahead and talk greasy so we can shut that down live on this joint. Like I ain't afraid to have somebody that really disagree with what I'm saying that be talking crazy. I ain't afraid to talk to them individuals, man. That's when I be having my best conversations. You know how it is because I stay ready, stay equipped with these books, so I be ready to bring these books out so I can show and prove to the people how all that's about to go down. When I give y'all the references, the people that's for the people that be want to disagree with what I say. When I give people the references, and they be just looking right past that. Just y'all about to be in the Zumba joint. Oh, Kuma, yeah, man. I mean, it wasn't necessarily the choir, but y'all know how it is when you was like in elementary school and things like that, man. And they had them little programs, man. You had to sit there singing and stuff, man. Like I ain't hated that stuff, man. Like I hated it, man. Like I hated that type of stuff, man. We don't have me try to do something I don't want to do. It's a difference between getting out of your comfort zone and just doing something that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like something that you just can't do. You don't want to do it. It serves you no purpose to do it. Like, man, I ain't finna be doing all that nonsense, man. Like, I ain't no singer, man. You should know people who gets you know the singers by now. I ain't one of them. CC for sure. Like I said, you got them people. I be seeing some. It's crazy, Thunder Piece, what's happening. It's crazy, man, because I be knowing. You know how when you be just got a good idea when some people just be kind of tapped into your stuff because and that's how I know, man. You be having a lot of not infiltrators, but you be having a lot of Judases out here, man. I know for a fact that there's people that I may know like personally. You know what I'm saying? That I know probably be tapped in and what I'm talking about on YouTube. And then it's like, man, I go like on the Facebook and Instagram and I see a status. And I'm like, man, I feel like I was just talking about that. And it'd be a status about something I feel like I probably was just talking about, and they'd be disagreeing with it or something, or they'd be talking slick. And I'm like, see, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about, man. You know me in person. You probably was watching the YouTube stream, wasn't saying nothing, disagree with something I said, didn't want to get on the stream and talk about it because you know how I am. Because again, you got to understand what I'm saying. If it's a person that know me, they know how I'm gonna get when there's something like that. I'm pulling out all the resources, so they don't want to get embarrassed on the stream. So they gonna take it to their social media platform and make it be subliminal. Cause I seen that a few times. Man, I'd be looking at something. I'm like, man, didn't I just talk about that? You know what I'm saying? And it'll be somebody who I ain't never seen on my you. Like, I'm like, dude, but we friends on other platforms, but I ain't never seen them in like the chat or anything. I'm like, bro, I know I just talked about that. So I feel like this is directed at me, but I ain't got no proof. So I mean, man, people be out here on some slick nonsense, man. But they don't want to get up in the chat and say anything because again, like I said, they know how that's gonna go. Because I have no hesitation to pull out sources. No hesitation. Oh, Kuma, man, don't even get me. Y'all know, man, how my connection to my family down south and church, they already knew not to entertain me being in any type of choir. No, sir. Like my uncle's got a gospel group, and my grandmother, you know what I'm saying, RIP, she would I seen her clear churches out with her saying. Like I literally said a funeral, and my grandmother like cleared the funeral. No, everybody stormed out that joint running. I'm talking about people who ain't never seen cry, stormed out of that funeral, man. Once my grandmother hit the mic and started singing, my grandmother had a very powerful voice, and my uncles, man, they got a gospel group, so it's some singing in the blood now. I'm just not one of them ones, so they already knew not to throw that my way. I ain't that dude. I already used to always be annoyed when I used to have to go to church so much when I go down there and spend some summers in Mississippi. Like, man, y'all go to church too much, and then when y'all go to church, it's too long, and these clothes are uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't never really been I ain't never really been a fan too much of the church. And this stems from as a youngin'. Like I always used to be annoyed. Falling asleep, man, hitting your head on the little rail at the end of the bench. Like I did all of that type of stuff, man. I couldn't wait to go home, man. That's back when I was like a wrestling fan. I'm like, man, I had to go home and watch wrestling or something, man. This is getting me right here, man. But nah, they wasn't never entertain put me in any type of choir. Never. They used to think I was gonna be a preacher of some sort. Like I said, which is why my grandfather labeled me preacher, man. But whatever that, obviously not about to be no Pastor Bell around this thing, man. But I see what he meant by that. Oh, Chris, for sure. You know what I'm saying? It's always like that. And that's how I always, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, man, if there anybody, I wish I had somebody on this planet I agree with 100% of the time. There's nobody on the planet that I agree with 100% of the time. I'm talking about the most respected people on this planet. In my eyes, I don't agree with everything that they say at all. You know what I'm saying? So that's normal. You know what I'm saying? That's normal and natural. That's how it's really supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like if we agree on everything, like that's suspect to me. Like, hold on, why is we agreeing on everything? That's something we gotta disagree on. Like this ain't making sense. We ain't supposed to be agreeing on everything. So yeah, nah, that's normal, that's natural right there. Like that's what makes life life. You know what I'm saying? Just the disagreements, the differences, and things like that, man. That's what makes life life. Like that's why I can rock with it. Again, when it's all respectful and cordial and things like that, then that's cool. Like it's a time and a place for disagreements, debates, things like that. But when stuff get a little childish and whatnot, man, because it's supposed to be about the information. So anytime we make it about anything other than the information, it's like abort the mission. God is for sure. That's what I used to say. I said, man, I don't preach, I teach. I don't like what comes with being a preacher. A lot of times they just out there riling up the emotions of the people. Like they ain't really worrying about speaking the truth. They try and get you to feel the Holy Ghost, as they would call it. You know what I'm saying? Like they trying to rile up your emotions, or what they would call a spirit. That's all they trying to do. Oh yeah, Chris, for sure, man. Like revivals and stuff like that. You going to church the whole week. Like, man, that was I mean, man, that was crazy. And you know what I'm saying? When you like going to them little ghost towns in Mississippi, man, like churches all they have. Like it ain't nothing else to do there. Ain't nothing else to do there. Like going to church is fun. Like you know what I'm saying? Back when you used to go to the mall or something for fun, like that's like that. Back in those little towns, man, we finna go to church. You know what I'm saying? Like where y'all going today? We going to church. That's an all day thing, man. I used to be crying when I used to like if I roll with my uncles now to the church, I'm instantly like in tears. I know I'm gonna be there all day. I'm like, man, because for one, like my granny was real popular in the church. They basically owned that church. So I'm like, man, we gonna be the last ones to lead this thing, man. That used to hurt my feelings, man. I couldn't stand that. Oh, I couldn't. That used to hurt. Antoinette Peace Queen, what's happening? I got some crazy church stories, man. I got some crazy church stories, man. Y'all know how I feel. I got some crazy church stories. One story in particular, I watched a lady, like my uncle was a pastor. I watched a lady that was physically attracted to my uncle. Y'all know how I go. Y'all know how people how they walk around, tap your head, and the people faint, all that type of stuff. Man, and what they would call the Holy Ghost. I watched a lady, man, that was physically attracted to my uncle, man. Dude came around, tapped her head, man. She fell out, whoop, and she popped right back up. Now, normally when you catch this Holy Ghost, man, you supposed to be out for a decent amount of time. I ain't never seen somebody pop right back up. Man, that lady popped right back up. I mean, she fell, and it's like she had a spring on her back. She popped right back up. I said, man, if this ain't some nonsense in this doggone church, and I'm just analyzing all this stuff as a child, I'm just looking at it. I said, man, I think my sister was in there. And I think we look, I'm like, man, did she just pop right back up? That's what she did. Dude came over, boom. She, boom, hit the pop right back up. Right back up. And I said, man, this is a joke. Whatever she caught, I don't want to catch that. Like she popped right back. I mean, instantly, she got right back up. What type of Holy Ghost? Like, what was that? But that's the type of stuff that you know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff that I saw, man. That's why I used to, you know what I'm saying? Hey, pastors be pimps out here, man. Pastors be pimps. Black Seed Theory, South from KC, and when we went to Arkansas, ooh, I ain't even got to finish that sentence. I already know Arkansas all day. All day. I already know. Yeah, so I mean, I got a lot of them type of stories, man. Honestly, I think I used to get I got burnt out on them joints, man. I got tired of it, man. Got tired of it, man. I can only deal with that energy for so long, man. Like I like a lot of types of music, but one music I don't like, dude, it's just gospel, man. I don't even want to listen to it, man. It's like I don't be want to hear nothing pertaining to the church anymore, man. No disrespect to the people that are in the church. It's just like, man, that stuff was just like scarring me at the time. Just due to some observations that were being made. Like it was just like, man, this is like halfway a joke. And then don't even get me started on like when I would see the collection plate. And man, I'm talking about people fumbling for their last few dimes, putting it in this joint. I'm like, man, this looks stressful. It's like, man, like this looking stressful. And then they trying to give you some of them dimes. Like they try to make you put something in the plate. I used to be the kid like, man, I ain't caring to put nothing in this plate. Then you'll be sitting next to that old lady randomly and she give you that dime or something to throw in the collection plate. Like, lady, man, what? You know what I'm saying? Like I'd have been that dude. I'm like, man, I ain't putting nothing in this plate. Pass this plate right to the next person. Ain't got nothing for y'all. The old lady, like, nah, you can put something in this plate, give you that dime. Like, come on, man. Coach Sean, hey, Coach Sean, man, you already know I know, boy. Woo! I'm telling y'all, I'm scarred. Scarred, man. I did some long church days, man, just scarred. All right, Better Future, what you say? Do you think religion has blinded us from knowing our history? Yes. Our parents were more concerned about us knowing the Bible and waiting for a savior than to tell us of who we are and the greatness in us. 100%. I 100% feel like religion has played a role in blinding us from knowing our history. And why do I say that? Why do I say that? Because I've had this conversation with religious folks and I've tried to have the conversation respectfully. I've tried to introduce certain things pertaining to certain cultures that precede the Bible to these religious folks and they wouldn't entertain it due to the fact that it goes against their religion. So it definitely has blinded us because some people won't entertain certain information if it doesn't revolve around their religion. So that's it 100% does because it makes you closed-minded to other pieces of information. So anything that contributes to you being closed-minded to truthful information definitely holds you back. Killer Priest said, religion is like a prison for the seekers of wisdom. Again, we're going to quote that. Religion is like a prison for the seekers of wisdom. What Killer Priest said, man. I ain't said, Killer Priest rapped it in a song. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that for sure. Even when you're talking about like the Bizzy Bone energy, Bizzy Bone is obviously very religious. Again, that's your way of life, but Bizzy Bone be on the type of stuff to where it's like, dude, this religion got you tripping. Like this belief in whatever it is you believe in I feel like it really got you kind of tripping a little bit, man. Thunder score. Hey, Thunder, that's funny. I put that on the screen because this is funny. Because I was listening to a pastor on the radio. He was talking about how it bothered him in his job when others didn't bless their food. That's the issue. Mind your business. And it's crazy because I used to talk about these cats blessing poisonous food, and it really ain't doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Just because you pray over the pork, that don't make the pork more healthy for you. It literally doesn't. Pork is like unhealthy, period. I don't care if you pray over it. I don't care if you levitate, meditate, have an out-of-body experience over this pork. At the end of the day, pork is not healthy for you. So I don't care what type of words you speak into this pork. It's not healthy for you. So that's always funny when people talk about like blessing the food and people not blessing the food. At the end of the day, I don't care how long of a prayer you say over that pork, it is going to kill you at the end of the day if you continue to eat it. I know plenty of good people that then blessed all their food and they still died of heart attacks due to the food that they was blessing and eating every day. Just only a select few. You know what I'm saying? I already know. Underdrift to pull it up in the bins. Don't even get me started on the TD Snakes. And I'm all cool. I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's like you earning your living doing what you love. But at the same time, man, go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, teach your congregation how to get it too. You know what I'm saying? Teach your congregation how to get it too. Yeah, pass the pork chop for sure. Terenzo, my brother, peace, peace. But yeah, that blessing of the food is always that's always funny, man. I'm finna go ahead and pray over this swine. Like that's what I'm finna do. Thinking it's gonna make it clean. Like, nah, it's still swine at the end of the day. Like, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say about this swine. I don't care if you prayed for this swine to turn into a banana or something. It's still gonna be swine when you eat it. You know? Child, peace, what's happening? So it's like, man, that stuff is always funny to me in regards to blessing the food because most of the time, man, we blessing some toxic food. Yeah, Thunder, and that's an assumption. Like, man, you just assuming that we all are religious and we bless food that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of other ways to bless food. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of other ways to bless food. I don't have to be saying no prayer to bless my food. Like, I could just be speaking positive affirmations to myself on a daily basis, and that's blessing everything that I consume. Blessing, like blessing everything that I consume. Oh man, Josh, you was out here whipping the pastor's vehicles out here. Rashid for sure. You know what I'm saying? But and I definitely have been there, done that though, like with the blessing of the food. And I'm one of the ones nowadays, man, I just get tired of it. So when they be you be at a function and they start holding hands and praying, I'm one of the ones, my head up now. I'm like, man, I ain't bowing my head, man. My head's just gonna be up and I'm looking at everybody else who head ain't up. We making eye contact, man. I ain't praying over. I ain't doing this, man. Let's get to it. Better future, 100%. Never lost who they are. Never lost, and that's the key. That's the key. Yeah, Kuhlman, that's about it. And it still might kill you faster. You know what I'm saying? That's about it though. Yeah, prodigal son. I think it starts get what to me what separates religion from like what I would call a culture, like just a way of life, which partially a religion is. I think the thing that really makes something a religion is the belief in like a supreme deity. You know what I'm saying? A belief in a supreme deity. But you know what I'm saying, we can speak if we speak in semantically, we can say what you just said. I think, but when you start talking to the layman person, the thing that really makes something a religion is that belief in that higher power or that higher source. Or that supreme deity and things along those lines. Oh yeah, better future for sure. Man, y'all already know my history with it. Man, Thunder, that's man, listen. Got the authority to tell you that you man, I'm telling you, been there, done that, had all type of arguments with these people. I'm like, man, you just assume that. First of all, you assuming that like you said, I believe what you believe. I could be a straight heathen out here because that's what you're gonna view me anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, like, stop making assumptions. Stop making assumptions. Thunder for sure. Yeah, once people, what changed for me is when people started seeing the books that I was reading. I have books like Richard Dawkins, like The God Delusion. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Like I started having books on evolution, Big Bang Theory. Like I was having like little science books along with the philosophy books, even along with like other religious books. Man, I was studying like all of that, like then metaphysics and quantum physics. And they started seeing all that. They were like, yeah, nah, this dude crazy, this dude tripping. Like something wrong with this dude. Like, what dude on? Like, why are you reading? Why are you studying that? Like, why are you reading a book called The God Delusion? Like, what's up with that? You know what I'm saying? So I was reading some of everything, man. I was like I said, take the best part. I'm reading everything. Like, I feel like it's corny to just read everything that you agree with. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that was extra corny. So I would never do that. I'm reading all angles. That's how you make an informed decision. I ain't afraid to read a book by a so-called atheist. You know what I'm saying? Like what they would call, like I ain't afraid to read that. But a lot of people, they're not even gonna entertain that. Oh, this dude atheist. He don't believe. I ain't reading that. You'll be surprised what you'll learn in those particular books. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. I got a book right now called Why I'm Not a Christian. This book was written almost like 100+ years ago. Straight cold book too. Nice book. But the average person, they see me reading that, they like, hold on, what dude on? Underdrifted, what you say? What do you feel about eating eggs when cutting back? Wait a minute, hold on. When cutting back on beef and chicken, it's cool. I eventually wean myself off the eggs, but that's cool though. That's cool. That's a cool. Like I would take that. So basically, well, you said cutting back. You know, I thought you said eliminating, but cutting back though. I was about to say, um, what's that called? A ovo vegetarian, like one that would eat eggs, and then of course like fruits, veggies, and all that type of stuff. But they don't eat dairy products. They don't eat meat, but they eat eggs though. I think that's a ovo vegetarian because you got lacto ovo, which means dairy and eggs. Because people don't realize that eggs are not dairy. So a lot of times something to say dairy free, but it'll still have egg as an ingredient because they're not the same thing. Then you got the lacto vegetarian, which means they consume dairy but not eggs. And then you got the ovo vegetarian, which consumes the egg but not the dairy, along with all the other good stuff that you're supposed to consume. You know, but yeah, the eggs, they could do you well if you respond good to them. Boiled, I would prefer that. To Renzo, my brother, appreciate that donation. You say Supreme Super Sperm Pure. Oh yeah, the MC squared. Yeah, we know the MC squared. We know that form. We know that formula. We know what it means. As a massively pure being is oneself. Oneself, and again, that's that knowledge of self that we always talk about. That's what I focus on. That's what I subscribe to. Prodigal Son for sure, man. I got a lot of books written by atheists. Like I said, it's misunderstood. it's a misunderstood branch of, like, I don't want to say belief, but it's just misunderstood. But I got a lot of books, man. I had one that I had showed on this joint a minute ago, but I ain't got that book by me. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of books written by them cats, man. That I be kind of rocking with. I got another book. It's called Faith versus Facts. Faith versus Facts. Like, look that joint up. You know what I'm saying? It's letting you know the difference between faith versus facts and why the facts are more beneficial and things along those lines, man. But that's also a pretty good book. Faith versus Facts. Good book, man. Just like I got some books written by religious folks that I could recommend. Pretty much every other book, like if the person don't specify and call themselves an atheist, pretty much the person that's the author, they are religious. You know what I'm saying? So most books that I'm gonna read gonna have a religious, you know what I'm saying, undertone or whatever the case may be. If the person don't come out and let you know they're atheist, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be a religious person writing this book, and they gonna throw that element in there somewhere, depending on the subject matter or the, you know what I'm saying, the genre. Yeah, Thunder. That's why I say when I was on that vibe. I mean, I'm pretty much semi still on that vibe, depending on how you view my way of life. But yeah, people straight think you don't have no morals out here. All right, what? Like the dude, you know what I'm saying? Like the comment that I showed on here with dudes trying to say I'm godless out here. Like I straight don't have no morals or nothing. Like I'm straight out here wicked and causing all destruction. I'm like, again, history shows and proves to you that the most destructive individuals are the ones that actually believe in something, a supreme deity, and they killing in the name of this deity. And anybody else that don't subscribe to that deity and bow down to him, they call it a heathen. And therefore, we got to have a holy war, jihad, and we got to have stuff like that. Like, so come on, man. I ain't out here like what like if I was in charge of something, I couldn't kill. Like I'm like, man, I just don't. It ain't no evidence out here, so I ain't gonna kill nobody for nothing. I can't be mad at you because you subscribing to something that I'm just saying, hey, I don't know if this is I don't know if this is true. I don't know if that is true. It becomes a problem when I start thinking that I know what reality is. It becomes a problem when I think that my way of life is true. So if I believe in something, I feel like the whole world should. That's when things become a problem. And then if I get into a position of power and you don't believe in what I believe in, then I must kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like that becomes the problem. When you got people that's in power and they feel like what they believe in is right, then now they finna enforce it on everybody. Anybody believes otherwise got to die. So I'd rather have more honest people in charge, like somebody that will say, "Man, I don't know." If you ask somebody, "Man, do you believe in a God?" I don't know. I'd rather have that person in charge because they're not about to hit us with some type of dictatorship. If you don't believe in my God, then you must die. I'd rather somebody not believe in anything, just not know. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather somebody be agnostic on them because it's like they're not about to enforce some type of law. They're gonna let you do what you want to do. But it's the people that think they got the right answer that's finna go ahead and chop heads off. So nah, man, I'm some danger. Adolf Hitler wasn't no atheist. You know what I'm saying? Adolf Hitler was not an atheist. Ooh, Thunder Scorpion. I did not see that one. I gotta tap back in there. I did not see that debate. Prodigal Son for sure. Everything. Any and everything. I'm telling you, man, if it's a subject out here, man, I probably got a book on it. Any and everything. But when it comes to like beliefs and religion, all that type of stuff, man, I was studying that stuff hard, man. I was on it hard, like I said, from the metaphysics to the studying the science hard, to studying all the religions hard, man. The Theoism, just Islam. Like you, of course, you got to study like Christianity, the Catholic Church. I was studying all this type of stuff, man. I was like I said, I went to private school, so I was taking these courses. So Qurans, Bibles, all that type of stuff, man. Study it all. But philosophy is my joint though. I honestly was considering going back to, you know what I'm saying, might go back to school, get a master's in philosophy, man, so I could become a professor or something. Because philosophy was my thing, man. When I took them courses in philosophy, man, that philosophy professor was like, hey man, you need to go ahead and do this. But I was like almost done at that time. Hey Chris, man, not SpongeBob, bro. Ah man, what's the one the spaghetti monster? But yeah, no, not SpongeBob though, man. I ain't subscribing to SpongeBob, Chris, bro. I can't be with you on that one, man. If the SpongeBob is the high power, then I'm just gonna have to go ahead and go to the other place. I can't stand SpongeBob, bro. I ain't doing it. If we can't, if the realization was that SpongeBob is the one we should be bowing down to, go ahead and send me to the place where we burn it. I ain't going for that one. Crown, Peach, what's happening? What's the word? Yeah, Thunder, I gotta tap in. I gotta tap into that. But yeah, Chris, man, you on your own with that one. I ain't subscribing to the SpongeBob religion. You know what I'm saying? So if that was the truth, then you might as well go ahead and take me out, coach. Take me out. I might as well live life recklessly because I ain't going for it. Thunder for sure. Like I feel like I'm still doing that work now, but I was like, man, you know me, I like to take my craft seriously. So if I feel like I go back and get them credentials, you know what I'm saying? So people be like, this ain't dudes out here serious with it. So I already got the degrees in bit, so I feel like I could just go get that joint in philosophy. And if anything fails, you know what I'm saying, I still got it though. But I like to always qualify myself because you know how they like to do us. What are your credentials? Like everybody want to know what your credentials are. Well, here they are. You know what I'm saying? Here go my credentials right here. You know what I'm saying? What's the problem now? Yeah, Kuma, I ain't even a man. That's why I say you might as well go ahead and send me down under or wherever you go, man. You might as well send me there. I ain't going to no bikini bottom after I die. Like that ain't happening. Air view, yeah, yep. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. But you know what I'm saying? Like that be for the most part, like those are the type of discussions that I like to have more so than anything, man. Just the philosophical, scientific, religious type of discussions. But a lot of times those discussions, man, people be okay. Y'all know how people are. We don't like to think. You know what I'm saying? We don't like to think. And we don't like to, you know what I'm saying? We don't like to be challenged. But a lot of times that was what was causing most of the problems when I be on the Facebook world. You know what I'm saying? Because I was challenging people's beliefs and I was asking some thorough questions that would cause you to think about your answers. I remember I never forget. I remember when some like it was some young ladies at the time, and this is when like I told y'all, man, I used to be ruthless out here with some of the stuff that I was believing. But I was saying something along the lines of were Adam and Eve married? And if so, where is the proof in the Bible? You know what I'm saying? Like that was a like, it was that was a question. Like literally, that was the question. I was like, were Adam and Eve married? And if you say yes, where was this in the Bible? Where was the ceremony in the Bible? Like, where was the wedding in the Bible? Like, that's where I was. Like, that's literally just the question. I asked the question. Literally, that was it. Like, that was the question. And get that, that turned into like a week-long situation because some women got on that thing, got going off on me. And I mean, ain't nobody really answered the question. They just got the going off on me. I don't even know, but that's the question that I asked. I was just like, were Adam and Eve married? And if they were, where was the ceremony in the Bible? Because we talk, and I'm talking about, and again, I don't take it literal, but I'm like, we talking about the mother and father of so-called civilization in your book. So I said that they were not married. If they didn't have a ceremony or wedding, then why is that something that you aiming for? That was like my question. I was like, so if the people that populated this planet wasn't on that type of time, why must I be on it? This is how reckless I was back in the day. I was on some reckless stuff. I was just on some reckless stuff. I was reckless. That was the question that I asked. I just wanted that answer. I was like, were Adam and Eve married? So I was like, technically, what they did was out of wedlock when they populated when they populated Earth. Was that not something that they did out of wedlock? Because I don't remember them being married from reading the story, like reading it. So I was like, this ain't making sense. My brother Chris, 2 bills for SpongeBob as our Lord and Savior. Hey, are you ready to accept SpongeBob as your Lord and Savior? Like the SpongeBob witnesses out here. Chris, you know, it's a joke, it's funny, but I guarantee you, for real, if we wanted to start a church based on SpongeBob, I guarantee you we could actually do that. It would be people that would believe in that. Like I'm serious, like all the cats that grew up on SpongeBob, like you would get some of them to be some devout followers. I am not lying. It will be people that would subscribe to a SpongeBob religion. I guarantee you. I guarantee it. Like that ain't even as far fetched as it sounds right now. Like literally, like it is not far fetched. Young Moolah, peace. What's happening? There you go, Thunder. And Prodigal Son. That's basically why I was asking the question, because I wasn't in belief of it at the time, and I was trying to make my point. So that's exactly why I asked the question. Like that's where I was going with the question, but I ain't never get to go there because boy, they got emotional and went off on the kid. Child, you say, can a virgin have a oh man, yeah, y'all about to get I used to ask some very nice questions. I wish I could go back to the archives, but that was one of them. Underscore. Ooh, yeah, yeah. The story of the drowning was yeah. Ooh, buddy, I had some questions on that one too. And again, when they talked about making man, let us make man in our image, and our likeness. Like who is the who's the our that they talking about? Like who is they? Who are they? Like who are you talking about? Let us make man in our image. Who we talking about? I usually get some funky answers on that one. I don't know what people start talking about when I used to ask that, but I usually let us make man in our image and our likeness. I'm like, who are they talking about? It don't say let me make man in my image, in my likeness. It said let us make man. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. So I usually be like, who they talking about? And this is when I usually get told you misinterpreting the scriptures, or this when people would say, man, you need to talk to my pastor, like because they ain't had no answer. I'm like, so you following something that you ain't even. This is in the first book. Like this in the first book of it. Like this is Genesis. So you ain't even made it to the first book of your Bible, and you going so hard for it. I said that's interesting to me. But I used to ask that simple question: let us make man in our who are they? Who are they talking about? Like who we talking about? And again, like some of these, like I came up with like metaphorical answers to them, but I just wanted people to answer them joints that was subscribing to all of this. Greg, man, I think I saw that. I'm telling y'all, man, literally, if I wanted to start a religion, I'm telling y'all, that would be my hustle to start a church. I would have them worshiping books. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be books. We gonna pray to all books. Just all books. Like that's just we worship books. Like anything that's in the form of a book, that's your Lord and Savior. Like I guarantee you, people will be out here subscribing to it. Yeah, prodigal son for sure. But then I always say, but who are they? And it's like nobody knows who they actually are, though. It's just all speculation. Like at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. It's like it's speculation, and there is no one correct interpretation. If you tell me they are aliens, I tell you they were black men, they were 24 scientists. Like it's all type of responses that you can get. Who's right though? Underscore man, I'm telling y'all, I ain't even lying though. You know what I'm saying, man? Like when you get pressed from like you I honestly was like, man, I'm gonna start a church. I ain't even lying to you, man. Things had got real in the field for the kid, man. I started thinking about it. In all honesty, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Not even, man. I start like for real, man. I had start, man. What was that movie? That Waco, Texas joint. That Waco, Texas movement. That, man, y'all know what was it? The Dravidians or the Davidians? Yeah. I had watched that, and then I was looking at the Jim Jones stuff. I was like, man, these people, like, man, you people really out here. Like people really out here. You know what I'm saying? Like when I started coming across that, I was like, man, it's an interesting world, man. Because no way I'll follow a man to the point where I'm committing suicide. No way I'm gonna follow a man to the point where I let him impregnate my woman. Like, man, I'm never doing what type of ain't nobody in this world finna get me to believe in them that much. Like, yes, sir, it's okay if you to impregnate my woman. That's cool with me. Ain't no way, ain't no person on this planet finna get me like that. So I'm like, man, it's crazy out here, man. I almost straight thought about it. Man, great. Hey, we all need to come together, man. We got the deacon board right here on this thread. We just need to go ahead and do it. We got the deacon board right here. You know what I'm saying? We all on it. We all in on it, man. We got to find a place to go ahead and put that joint. Let's get it popping. Get it popping. We got to come up with some common things for the people to believe in, man. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, with that being said, man, this is one of them good streams, man. Y'all see me in rare forms with a little bit of jokes today. Little bit of jokes today, man. I'm gonna let y'all embrace this one because we're gonna get back to the seriousness next time I get back on this joint. But I gotta make my moves, get back up to this gym. Y'all already know, man. I got sessions, man. I gotta finish off the rest of this day, train these folks. Um, I'm not gonna tap in with y'all for probably about 3 days. I'm gonna do some little short uploads. Be on the lookout for them joints. I ain't did the short uploads in a while, man. Y'all know it. Get straight to the point. Let y'all know what y'all need to know. So be on the lookout for the short uploads here for these next 3 days. Y'all be easy, catch up on old content, read a book, something, man. Do something productive out here. But I'm out though, man. Y'all be easy. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Peace.